My life completely changed once I understood this one simple concept about risk. Now, yes, you're watching me talk from a beautiful apartment in the hills of Koh Samui in Thailand, and I've achieved some level of success for a 21-year-old, nowhere near the success that I will have, but some level of success from a 21-year-old. And you're thinking, what is this privileged cunt who's got daddy's money or mummy's money, taking care of his life? How can he give me some advice on risk when I'm in a situation where I don't feel like I can take risk, or I'm in a situation where I don't feel like I can take that step into the phase of life that I actually want to take? Well, I don't come from daddy's money. I've worked my ass off to even achieve this level of success, which I'm pretty happy with. And just a year ago, I was working as a labourer, as you can see right there. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about has been from my experience from taking a risk or a leap of faith from a less than desirable situation, from a place of security, into something which is meant to be risky, which has now let me create a somewhat desirable life, and the life that I wanted to create for myself at least, and I know that a lot of young guys want to create for themselves as well. So when I was working my job, okay, I was a little slave bitch to my job, all right? I worked 40 to 60 hours a week as a labourer, and I had 2 other jobs on the side with soccer, which I actually enjoy. But point is, when I was working this job, okay, my mindset was the same, everyone working there's mindset was the same, and we all viewed entrepreneurship and business and sales and commission-only sales especially as risky. Now, this prevented me from going into business for a while. It prevented me from opening my mind to business and actually learning about it because I saw it as risky. I didn't realize there are actually skill sets you learn which mitifies your risk, or there was actually skill sets you learn which help you get success in this area. Okay, I wasn't aware of that. But here's the fucking truth, which changed everything for me. And for me to say it to you and for you to listen to it and just hear it for what it is one thing, but if you truly, genuinely understand this concept, it will change everything for you, and you will not see risk anymore, and you will just see opportunity, and you will see it in a way which means failure is not an option, okay? And there's no such thing as failure, and there is literally only a path to success. If you can truly understand what I'm about to tell you, I promise you that is your only option. It is literally success. There is no risk and there is no failure. This is the truth. When I was working that job as a labourer and I had my safe, steady $1,200, $1,300 a week from that income, or any other guys that have entered into the remote sales space, entrepreneurship space, and they left their job previously, every single one of us who took that leap from a safe, steady, secure environment to something risky, like investing in a mentor, like going commission only, like trying to build a business, the worst case scenario for every single one of us who took this leap of faith, who took this risk and have created this type of lifestyle completely online from wherever we want in the world, the worst case scenario, it didn't work. And we went back to our current life we were already living. Think about that. You're scared to take a risk right now, or a plunge into something which you deem as risky, but the worst, absolute worst case scenario, if that thing does not work out, is you live your current life. The worst case scenario that would have happened for me if this didn't work out, I'd go back to my labour job and work those 40 hours a week and take that $1,200, $1,300 a week in pay. That's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, I'm now living wherever I want in the world. I'm now staying in a beautiful apartment with a beautiful view, as you can see behind me. I'm making more money than I ever made in my job. It's been 3 days this week and I've already made over $2,500 in commissions once the cash is collected. So the worst case scenario was I go back to my current job. Best case scenario, I now live like this, and now I can build businesses off the back of it, and I can live a life of freedom off the back of it. Then, to elaborate even more and make you understand how little risk there is and why there is no such thing as failure, okay? Genuinely, you cannot fail if you can feel this deep in your soul and understand this. Let's say this didn't work. Let's say I had some savings behind me when I quit my job. I invested in a mentor. I went commission only sales. I traveled the world, or traveled Southeast Asia at least. Let's say it didn't work. And let's say I went back to my job. And I went back to my $1,200, $1,300 a week. All I had to do was try again. All I had to do was save a little bit of money, give myself some time, invest in a different mentor maybe overcome some limiting beliefs, learn some new skill sets, and try again. And guess what happens? If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, guess what? My worst case scenario was still the current life that I was living. So with this understanding, okay, that if you try this, the worst case scenario is your current life, and then if it doesn't work, your worst case scenario is you go back to a job and you save up again and try again, and then if it doesn't work, you go back to a job, you save up and you try again, and it doesn't work. Once you understand that, that means you can literally try 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times. It does not matter. As long as you are right one time, just one time you have to be right, okay? One type of business, one skill set, one net mentor, one connection. You just need to be right one singular time and you can do whatever you want, okay? You can achieve your goals, you can achieve your dreams as long as you're right once, okay? Let's say it took you 100 tries of you're leaving a job, you're trying to start a business, you're trying to learn a skill set, you're trying to make money online, whatever it is, and you failed 100 times, but on the 101st time you were correct and it worked and you were right. Does the previous 100 really matter? Was it really that risky? Was there any chance of failure knowing that? Or was your only option success with that formula? It was only success, okay? So please understand this. If you're someone who is scared, fearful, nervous, whatever emotion is going through you, ignore the dog barking in the background. Whatever it is, once you understand that there is no risk, okay, if you take a leap, the worst case scenario is you go back to your job and your current life, and then you try again. And then if you try again, it doesn't work. The worst case scenario is you go back to your job and you try again. There is zero risk, okay, with this format. There is zero risk. There is only learning. There is no failure. And eventually, if you keep trying and you go all in, I promise you, you have my word, it will work. It took me one try, okay? It took me one try. I quit my job once with some savings and went all in on this, and it's worked out. It took me one try. If I failed, it would have worked the second, okay? So you have my word. If you use this formula and you use this mindset and understand that there is no risk and there is no failure and there is only success with this formula, I promise you, eventually, if it's not the first, if it's not the second, if it's not the third, if it's not the fourth, but it's the fifth, eventually you can have whatever you want, you can achieve your goals, you can achieve some level of your dream life without the risk that you currently think is there. I hope that helps you take a leap into something that you wanted to take a leap into. I will see you in the next video.